You are always talking to yourself, even when you are silent. That quiet voice in your mind never stops. It comments, judges, predicts. This dialogue runs continuously beneath awareness, and most people never question it. But that inner conversation is shaping your reality more than any external action. Influence begins internally before it shows externally, not because it is positive or negative, but because it is constant. Consistency gives thoughts power. Your mind repeats what feels familiar, not what is true. Familiarity feels safe to the brain, and repetition becomes belief. Belief becomes behavior. Behavior becomes results. This sequence operates automatically. This is the loop most people live inside without realizing it. Your inner dialogue is not harmless background noise. It is instruction. Instruction shapes response. Every sentence you repeat internally tells your nervous system how to respond to life. The body listens closely. I'm behind. I always mess this up. Nothing works for me. Language programs expectation. These thoughts feel automatic, but they are learned. Learning implies change is possible, and what is learned can be changed. The subconscious mind does not distinguish between joking thoughts and serious ones. It records tone, emotion, frequency. Emotion strengthens memory. So the way you speak to yourself matters, more than motivation, more than planning, more than effort, because action follows identity. Identity directs behavior, and identity is built through inner conversation. If your inner voice constantly questions your worth, you hesitate. Hesitation delays action. If it expects rejection, you withdraw. Withdrawal limits opportunity. If it predicts failure, you stop trying before you start. Expectation shapes effort. This is not self-sabotage. It is self-programming. Programming runs automatically. The mind believes what it hears most often, and it hears you more than anyone else. Repetition strengthens influence. Most inner conversations are unconscious. They run on autopilot. Autopilot feels effortless but limits choice. Old phrases, old conclusions, old emotional reactions. Patterns repeat unless interrupted, often inherited from childhood, from past experiences, from repeated disappointment. History shapes perception. The mind is trying to protect you by predicting outcomes. Protection can become restriction, but prediction becomes limitation. The inner voice often mistakes familiarity for safety. Safety is prioritized over truth, even if that familiarity is painful. Mindset meditation is not about silencing the mind. It is about becoming aware of how you speak to yourself. Awareness creates leverage. Awareness is the interrupt. When you notice a thought without reacting, you create space. Space allows choice. And in that space, choice appears. You begin to hear the tone behind the words. Tone carries meaning beyond content. Is it harsh? Is it rushed? Is it fearful? Tone reveals emotional state. Tone carries energy. Your body reacts to tone instantly. Reaction precedes reasoning. A critical inner voice tightens the body. A supportive one relaxes it. The body seeks safety. The body does not respond to logic. It responds to emotional signals. Emotion drives physiology. This is why mindset meditation starts with listening. Listening without judgment. Judgment blocks awareness. You are not trying to correct thoughts yet. You are learning the pattern. Observation comes before change. Once the pattern is visible, it loses authority. Visibility weakens control. The inner voice has power only when it goes unquestioned. When you start observing it, it becomes guidance instead of control. Observation restores choice. You realize something important. You are not the voice. You are the one hearing it. This distinction creates freedom. That separation changes everything. From that place, you can choose a new tone. Choice replaces compulsion, not forced positivity, not fake confidence. Authenticity builds trust, but grounded language. Language shapes internal safety. Language that feels supportive, not confrontational. Support invites engagement. Instead of, I can't do this, the tone shifts to, I'm learning. Learning allows progress. Instead of, this always goes wrong, I'm open to a different outcome. Openness reduces resistance. These shifts may seem small, but the nervous system responds immediately. Small changes create large effects. Safety increases, resistance decreases, regulation improves performance, and behavior changes naturally. Your inner conversation sets your emotional baseline. Baseline determines resilience. A calm inner voice creates resilience. A critical one creates exhaustion. Tone determines energy. Mindset meditation trains the mind to speak differently, gently, patiently, consistently. Consistency rewires patterns. Not every thought needs to be replaced. Some just need to be softened. Softness reduces strain. Softening reduces internal conflict. And less conflict means more clarity. Clarity improves decision-making. Decisions shape direction. Better decisions shape better outcomes. This is how inner conversation creates external reality. Gradual cause leads to visible effect, not instantly, but inevitably. Time reveals alignment. Your mind becomes the environment you live in. Environment influences behavior. If that environment is hostile, progress feels heavy. Resistance drains momentum. If it is supportive, growth feels natural. Support sustains effort. Mindset meditation builds internal alignment. Alignment reduces friction. When thoughts, emotions, and actions agree, energy flows. Flow enhances consistency. When they fight each other, energy drains. Conflict consumes resources. Most people are tired not because life is hard, but because their inner voice never rests. Rest begins internally. Changing that voice restores energy. You do not need to control every thought. You need to change the relationship with them. Relationship determines influence, from obedience to observation, from reaction to response, from criticism to curiosity. Curiosity invites learning. Curiosity opens space. Space allows new patterns to form. Patterns shape experience, and new patterns create new experiences. Your outer world reflects your inner dialogue over time. Reflection follows repetition, not because life is listening to words, but because you are listening to them. Attention directs behavior, and you act accordingly. So the real practice is simple. Notice how you speak to yourself today. Awareness begins change, not to judge it, but to hear it clearly. Clarity replaces confusion, because once you hear it, you can guide it. Guidance replaces force, and when your inner conversation becomes supportive instead of demanding, your reality begins to respond differently. Change follows tone, quietly, gradually, but unmistakably. Consistency reveals results, because the voice you live with most is the one shaping the life you experience. Thank you for tuning in. If you enjoyed the content, please hit the like button and subscribe to stay updated with our latest videos on YouTube.